I failed. Again.
Previously on Subliminal, Rory's only companion, Penelope Allister, was drowned in front of him. Paralyzed by grief, Rory needs to escape back to his apartment if he ever hopes to ground himself and return home. Meanwhile, Robin, Marcy, and Crane track down Rory's disappearance back to his workplace.
No!
Rory's cries echo throughout the dim chamber. The paneled walls begin to crack.
I could have saved her. Why couldn't I save her?
The panels crack further, and the wall begins to shrink slowly.
What is wrong with me? Why did I say that? I can't be alone. Again. It's all my fault. I'm alone again. Why am I so useless? If I just stopped to think, I could have saved her.
Panels begin shattering as the walls close in even more. Rory remains unaware.
Penelope, I'm so sorry I failed you.
You did your best, didn't you?
I tried. No, I didn't. I couldn't have cared less. That is my problem.
But you care about people, don't you?
I do a shit job of showing it. She had just found a glimmer of hope to keep fighting, and I snuffed it out. Who the hell does that?
Maybe she was beyond saving.
Rory looks around and spots exactly what he knew he would.
Stop using her voice. Damn you! No, I won't. I know she was onto something about why I'm here, what you are. You feast on my fears and torment me with my past, but I can't let you get me now. I won't die like that.
As the walls continue to close in on Rory, the ice pool where Penelope drowned corrodes away, and the compressing chamber darkens.
They're both waiting for you, Rory.
They'll have to wait a bit longer.
Rory makes a leap towards the cracking panels, breaking through into a fragmented mirrorscape, eventually landing back on the surface.
I made it out.
Rory notices the sky above is much more dominantly black. The light at the end of the gradient seems farther out of reach.
Too close to the dark. I need to make my way back to the light. I need... Okay, think. I got stuck here after that argument with Brock, but the mall is not the way. If it's feasting on my fears, then maybe the key to survival is hope?
Rory gazes into the cityscape, focuses on where he feels his apartment should be. It's a day's travel away, but he can't help but notice it's towards the light of the sky.
It's worth a shot. For Penelope.
Rory confidently marches towards the light at the end of the sky. Meanwhile, Robin, Marcy, and Crane arrive at Oak Lodge Mall.
I hope you gals have a craving for a good movie. We're headed to Venus Video.
The three enter the mall, surveying the surroundings for any sign of Rory, but find nothing.
Come on, you two. We aren't going to find Rory in the line for Princess Pretzels.
Well, I know that, but there's a chance he never left the mall.
Staying overnight in a mall without getting found by security? Unlikely.
Just putting it out there.
After briefly looking around the food court, they make their way to the video store to confront Brock McIvor for information.
Hello? Are you the manager, Mr. Brock McIvor?
Indeed I am. How can I help you today?
The name's Michael Crane, P.I. We're actually here looking for an employee of yours, Rory Bailey.
Oh, great. I've been trying to get a hold of him since he vanished in the middle of his shift last week. He never came back, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you're gonna tell us everything, you know. Ladies, grab him.
What?
We're not kidnapping him.
You kids are no fun. Please, Mr. McIvor, come with us.
The group makes their way across the mall to find a quiet place to interrogate Brock. They pick the janitor's closet, open and empty.
Ah, perfect.
Really? The janitor's closet? Couldn't you find somewhere more professional?
I didn't tell you to speak yet, so shut it. Please, have a seat.
Brock sits down on an upside-down bucket. Crane pulls out a flashlight from his pocket.
So, tell us, When did you last see Rory?
He came into work the other day, running late as usual. I tried to have an intervention about his attendance. Then I told him to take out the trash, and he never came back.
Interesting. See, Mr. McIvor, Rory never came home from work. Your little intervention? Tell us about that.
Well, I don't think I handled the situation that great.
What do you mean by that?
What did you say to him?
I gave him a bit of a hard time. I said some things that may have come off as harsh. He's always been troubled, but he has no skill at keeping that separate from work. I'll admit, I might have lost my temper and said something that upset him.
How could you speak that way to an employee? Aren't you supposed to be patient?
Look, it obviously wasn't my intention to upset him, and I have been patient. I've been putting up with him for months.
Well, clearly you didn't do that well enough. I don't believe you understand the gravity of this situation, Mr. McIvor. He's been missing for nearly 48 hours. A man who can barely get out of bed every morning because of how miserable he is, who mysteriously vanishes after one bad morning at work.
Hey, look, I didn't know he was genuinely depressed. It's not like he ever opened up to anyone.
Of course he wouldn't. I live with him, and I don't know a damn thing, but I'm patient and respectful of his boundaries.
Listen, I did what I could. I tried to recommend resources. I couldn't sugarcoat what I was thinking. I had to tell him his behavior was unacceptable.
Well, maybe if you'd been easier on him, he would have come home.
Come on, Brock. We know you did something to set him off, so say it. Admit that you made him disappear.
Fine. I'll talk. Just back off. And could you watch where you shine that thing? I feel like I'm gonna go blind. Like I said, he hasn't been showing up on time these days. It wasn't a big deal at first, but it's caused a lot of issues on my end. That morning was especially frustrating, showing up late with a drive-through bag and a lot of moodiness that I wasn't going to tolerate.
And so you thought yelling at him would solve everything?
It was a heat-of-the-moment thing. Maybe I'm not the most level-headed person, and maybe I don't understand this whole depression thing. It's not my fault.
But if you lost that temper and made him run off site, that is on you.
But he didn't run off. I didn't want to deal with him, and I could tell he needed some space. So I sent him to take out the garbage.
But he never came back.
Rory has already been through so much, more than you could ever imagine. You didn't stop to think that maybe there's a good explanation for his behavior?
All right, Robin, I know you...
Clearly, you didn't bother thinking about the situation for even a second.
Okay, I get it. It's my fault he's gone. It's my fault he hasn't come back. I'm a shitty boss and a shitty person. I know I don't need you to tell me something I already know.
The room goes silent for a moment.
I'm so sorry about what I did. I didn't realize. And now he might not come back, and it's all my fault.
Brock, we don't know what happened to Rory. We haven't ruled out anything just yet. The garbage. Where's that located?
Lower level, West End. He would have taken the back halls.
Great. Then we'll head to mall security and check the camera feed. Thank you, Mr. McIvor. We appreciate your help.
Please, let me know as soon as you have an update on Rory's well-being. I owe him a serious apology.
Will do.
I know the way. Come on.
Marcy leads the group towards the mall security, where Crane works his, charm to review the footage from the day of Rory's disappearance.
Okay, watch closely. Here he comes.
In the footage, Rory is seen grabbing the garbage bags and walking towards the elevator. After he enters, the lights flicker for a moment. On the secondary feed from the lower level, the elevator clearly opens, with nobody exiting. Crane replays both feeds at double speed, then in slow motion, but each time, Rory never exits the elevator.
This is amazing!
What? Rory didn't come out. That's concerning, not amazing.
You don't get it. This case is officially worth my time, Ms. Robin. Rory not coming out is a great thing. Why? Because it makes no sense whatsoever. It means there's a whole other layer to this case we get to uncover.
Great. We.
Come on. Rory entered that elevator with a garbage bag. He didn't come out. But take a closer look here.
Crane fast forwards the tape to when the elevator finishes its descent.
The garbage bag. My brother went in with it, but the bag stayed. Michael, what do you think is...
I'll tell you right now, I haven't the slightest clue. But 100 light bulbs just went off in my head. I'm going to go home and start breaking them until only the best one remains.
What kind of analogy is that?
Crane, tell me now. Do you think there's a lead here?
That I can assure you. There doesn't seem to be any logical explanation as to what happened to your brother. So I'm going to embrace illogics.
Robin crashes at Marcy's apartment for the evening, while Crane begins spinning away his theories. Their missing person, Rory, makes it to his destination. He stands in front of his apartment, the only tangible building on a city block of distorted black walls.
Here goes.
Rory enters the front door and attempts to get in the lobby. Locked. He looks over to the buzzers. He notices that not a single name is visible on the board, except for 3B, Bailey Rodgers. He smirks and presses the buzzer. The walls around him suddenly flash in what could only be described as TV static, transforming the room into Rory's apartment.
Yes, yes, yes. It worked. Come on. This is a sign. It must be. Okay, Rory.
He scrambles around the apartment, but many objects are still only static. Errors. Problems. Not a single photo is visible. Rory realizes he barely remembers his own face.
It has to be right. Maybe I need to ground myself somehow. What do I do to make myself...
Rory looks at the TV.
Watch movies. That's it. I saw movies and I watch them. That feels comfortable, right? I think.
Rory presses the power button on the remote. The TV turns on.
Damn it!
Rory throws the remote at the TV.
That was not it. Should have seen that coming.
The telephone catches Rory's eye. He walks over to it and notices, just like the buzzer board downstairs, the numbers on the phone are actually clear. Specifically, the ones belonging to his number.
If I can somehow reach the other end. Please work. I need this to work. If I can just get word to Marcy, tell her I'm alive, I can...
The line seems to be going through. Robin and Marcy notice the same.
Mars, home phone is ringing.
It's probably a telemarketer. I fell for one of those last month.
Or it's Crane.
He's got our cells, plus he told us to sleep on it.
Alright, whatever. Whoever it is isn't trying to reach me.
Come on, please.
Nobody's going to answer.
Go away. Wait. Why aren't you trying to kill me?
Do you want me to?
Wait,
Okay, it's driving me insane. Marcy, please just answer it.
Okay, fine. Hello? Hello?
Holy shit! Marcy, yes, thank God! Marcy, it's Rory.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
Hello? I can't hear you.
Oh, Marcy, it's me!
Hello? I'm sorry, I'm just getting static.
See, not worth it. You're not worth saving.
You shut up! Marcy, it's me!
Rory.
Well, who was it?
No clue. It was basically just white noise.
So probably some weird scam.
Guess so.
Well, I'm gonna head to bed. We can leave a bit early in the morning to grab some Tim Hortons before we go to Crane's. Sounds good?
Yeah, sure. Good night.
Hello? Marcy? Marcy? Crap. Of course, it's not that easy. That must have really been her. I know it was. I'll find a way to tell her I'm stuck here, and I'll do what it takes to face my fears.
Rory stares at the seat where the entity was sitting, mocking him. He sits parallel and waits. It will be back, and by then he'll have a new plan, as will Michael Crane, who spends the night perfecting his theory. To be continued in Chapter 5 of Subliminal.